This is your daily market recap for Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at XP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. As we've talked about, the evidence is starting to show weakness. However, there's some trades and some setups. Want to talk about the mindset, how to react. Remember, the first dip typically gets bought off the top. First bottom gets sold off a low. Just keep this in mind. We've got a lot of things to talk about. The trading is not simple. Let's all wrap it into probabilities and let's get to work. New to the channel, please check out the Discord room. A link in the description below. As we've talked about, yes, shorting Airbnb. Love it, Solstice. Also did a little short of Amazon after hours. It's trading at how many hundreds times future operating revenue. Good luck with that sustaining. Small trade. We'll go into it, show you why. But yeah, I mean, I think all pops now are to be sold. Just be careful. Define your risk. Do not assume anything with certainty. Again, earnings is not easy, but I think the evidence has shown you that the market is peaking and going to roll over in time. How do we know that? Evidence-based. Let's go through the charts. You see it for yourself. Again, this isn't opinion-based. It's probability-based on what you see, what looks obvious. Appreciate all the love, support. Hit the like button if you can. Newer to the channel, check out Twitter. Also posting trades on there. Gotta love to talk about today's scenarios going into tomorrow. Pop and flop tomorrow or drop and chop. In my opinion, the trend has flipped. Again, follow on Twitter. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do live chats here on YouTube. Here and there, and yeah, Back to Basics series, education series, all on there. Check out, please, for the love of God, the website. You'll love the Back to Basics series. It's a little more in order on the website from more beginner to advanced stuff. And also, too, if you're newer, check out the Marcus 5.15% high yield savings account. It is the shit. It's Taki Mushrooms. Love it. Awesome app. Paying you 5.51%. It's lovely. All right, let's refresh as we always do. Fed Fund Futures Target. Yes, there's going to be a pause next meeting. Moving on. Bitcoin. As we talked about, a lot of these risk-on names, be careful. Please, be careful. Gold, Bitcoin, certain materials names, I'd be looking to take profits. They're not going to, in my opinion, break out. Because, again, the Feds want to continue the perception of raising rates, slowing the economy, killing risk-on assets. They have to do it to kill inflation. Oil, we hit our upside target today. You're welcome. Said this could be an inflection point here, chopped. But again, the more you're up, the less you own. I would start taking profits in the mid-80s if you're anything oil related, because I think the news is about to get, I don't know, sneaky in the sense of throw the baby out with the bathwater. We've talked about that concept many a times. And as much as you believe oil and gas should go higher, demand destruction is real. OPEC will try to cut to further limit the downside, but it doesn't mean it can't go lower. Just be careful, okay? Natural gas, same kind of thing. Yada, yada, yada. They're kind of stuck, y'all. Sorry to say it. Dollar, interesting action today. Hits our trend line that we drew yesterday. Just curious. Backs off. Now, could the dollar go up or down? I really don't have a preference in the direction. I'm just more curious about dollar volatility. Same thing with bonds. Here you go. We hit our downside target. Said it was always possible. Go watch previous videos, because when people were talking about breakout, we said don't be surprised by a retest of the lows. And also, too, the best way to unlock volume, remember, unlocking volume, would be to break this tight trading range. And once it did, I think you could start buying even more aggressively. You had the range lows in case it didn't happen. Like, this is the hardest thing with probabilities. Now, again, if you're telling me, well, you said certainly you should buy 98, 99. Yeah, based on if it holds those levels. But save bullets, because we talked about the best trade would be to break below it. Now you have a 3-gap trap. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Let's just move that over here. Somebody is catching this. Now, again, this is a big gap. These are tight candle days. Somebody is setting the floor, because these could gap down and continuously kapow. And they're not. Someone's holding it. Like, you could get these big red candles. I mean, you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, again, define your risk. I think bonds, because the Feds are going to do that. They want to create a game where risk off goes into bonds to help get them to do what? Pay for the economy, that the spending in the government. Now, again, this is like a hard concept to realize, is that the bond market will be future looking. We're filling the gap. We're hitting the range lows. It makes sense down here. And again, define your risk. Could be wrong, but it makes sense. If money comes out of the market, it needs a home. Is it going to China? Probably not. Europe? No, they'll probably go to U.S. debt because that has always been safe. The VIX, you're welcome. We talked about it getting over this day range. It would be more bearish. Now look at this candle because it's a little sneaky going into the jobs numbers tomorrow. Are you surprised if we consolidate, backfill a little bit? I wouldn't. That's what I'm telling people. Like, if you are short and you want to be more short, do not chase. You have to wait for pops. You absolutely have to wait for pops. Vivix, again, basing. We talked about how it was just basing forever. Something was going on. SPY, a little more continuation day down below the 20-day. Again, first dip should get bought, but the top is in, my opinion. People don't like to hear that, but that's just my thoughts on it. They're like, what are you talking about? All right, well, just zoom out. Let me show you. We talked about 1970s. If you don't know 1973 or 74, I can't remember. If you go Markets in Motion, Ned Davis research, same kind of thing in 73 where you had a big monster rally back. Then the Feds raise even more. Kapow. Here you go. Look at where we're getting back to an old shoulder line. Are we really going to break out with everything going on? I highly doubt it. Very suspect of such. But you do you. Define your risk. QQQQQ. Started to lag. We talked about that last couple weeks. Below the 20-day. Watch any rally back to it. I think those are shorts. Even if it goes a little bit above it. If it's intraday, watch the close. IWM. Doble topo. Oh, I'm zooming way out. Look at it. Double top. Been lagging. Again, QQQ is going back near all-time highs. All-time highs on the IWM are 244. Not even close. IWM's lagging. DIA. Cat caught it up. Some of these names popped it up. Double topper. Double topper to some old levels. Oops, let me zoom out. You can see it in very important range here in the mid 350s. Looks like it's about to fail. Gold. All right, got some new trolls that are just saying it's going higher, it's going higher. Again, if you think buying gold is the easiest trade, then you don't know what's going on. Remember, liquidation, strong gets sold too. When there's institutions that have to sell stocks, hedge fund redemptions, mutual funds have to sell out to rebalance because they're probably overloaded in stock. Again, metals, it's nothing. It's just like throw the baby out with the bathwater. How do you not understand this concept? Again, the best time to buy metals will be when the Feds are pivoting. Are they pivoting? Nope, but the same people will troll and say they love gold. I've been trading gold for a long time. I'm telling you right now, the best trade will be when they pivot. Not that it can't hold up well and maybe chop around, but there's going to be better trades out there. Just leave it alone. We talked about dumping this in the second quarter. Said July there would be an oversold rally because it typically rallies in July. Now it's probably going to go nowhere for a while. Keep that in mind. Silver, same thing. Rallies back up. Silver starting to break lower lows. That should lead gold. Be fucking careful. Excuse my language because the gold bulls are real annoying. And as someone who is a gold bull long term, I am not naive to the fact that gold and some of the metals, just like sometimes with Bitcoin as it becomes more of a safe haven asset, they will get hit too. Miners lead gold. Do they look great? Gold miners are literally about to break the lows. GDXJ, right? The junior of the junior, the most risky of the risky. Same thing. They're all looking really terrible. They're nowhere near their highs. Miners lead. Miners get destroyed when the markets get nuked. Okay? I'm just telling you. AG pops up to some resistance, getting nuked. AEM, same thing, pops. Breaking out the trend line. Be careful. Newmont, this should be up near the highs, right? In the 50s, 60s, whatever. Nope. Look at this thing. It's dog crap for a reason. I'm telling you, miners are not the play yet. Input costs are still rising. Credit's an issue. Miners are leveraged to all these things. And if the material, if gold and silver are not rising, then their margins get eaten. Again, it's such a crappy game. Again, they get punished. Just believe me. PAAS, same thing. Pass on it. Taiwan Semi, we've talked about some of these names starting to crack. Look at this stuff. New lower lows. Semis are the easiest short in my opinion. AMU popped on and filled the gap on some China news, exemption stuff. Just a matter of time. Their earnings were crap. AMD drops, pops, flops, chops on earnings. I mean, you can see it's just, again, people, this is why I always tell people don't chase. Watch the levels. If we're holding this level, it's not breaking yet. So then look for shorts on pops. Really that simple. NVIDIA breaking the trend. Breaking the channel 20-day. Look where it bounced to. Right to the 20-day. You could short that. And if it goes a little higher, keep that in mind. Okay, don't freak out because intraday action is meant to be trappy. Get people confused. Intel, we talked about this one. Look at this candle. Follow up by big red. It's not bullish, but holding the 20-day, holding this little box of refreshment, if you want to call it, for support. We'll see what happens. SMH, double topper. Talked about this, very clear. Holding these levels for now, but just don't be a hero. Don't sit around and watch all day. It's just a matter of when, not if, this stuff breaks. I'm telling you. August, seasonality. Adobe, novice gap. If you don't know what novice gap is, go watch the video series on professional versus novice gaps. Professional gaps start the move. Novice gaps trap retail. At an end of a move. Novice gap. Novice gap. Keep an eye on it. Apple. Their earnings will not have been out by the time I think I get through this. It doesn't matter. Pop, flop, chop, short it on a pop. Amazon. After hours took a little short at 137.50. Looking at this range to fail. Kind of like when Meta popped on its earnings. Could it go to 138, 139, 140, whatever. I don't know. Got a couple hundred shares that I'm looking to do it at. Watching these levels. Could we fill this gap? After hours, we are filling that gap. Could we fill this gap? I mean, I don't know. Anything's possible, but love the shorts. Love the shorts. Because if it gaps up, like all of them, and the trend is changing, what have they noticed? They have all failed. They have all failed. So, again, layer in. Be smart. After hours liquidity is a little harsh. Maybe Bezos says something positive. I don't know. I mean, again, their operating income is a joke with the stock as a $1.3 trillion company. Okay, get out of here. CRM. CEO selling tens of millions of shares, breaking the 50-day. Watch this. This thing, again, tech softness. Guggenheim, if you shorted this one like we recommended above 131 to 133, you're looking pretty good. Novice gap, trap, professional gap. Can't go anywhere. Intraday action. All right, let's be patient. Meta, here's the example of like post-earnings. Like we got over these levels a couple days and then failed, filled a gap. Same thing with Amazon. I think it's just a matter of time. I mean, just get the best prices you can. It's like instead of the deals of things being on sale, there's so much good shorts with things being overbought and up at highs that don't make sense to me personally. But that's just the same thing. At the bottoms, I'll be screaming buys, and everyone will be like, oh, you can't buy down here. The market's going to crash. The world's going to end. And it's like, okay, get the same feedback at extremes all the time. It's just part of the game. Parts of the game. All right, Microsoft, blow off top. Here it is. Just slowly building to fail. NDAQ, as we've said, NASDAQ is not the future. Exchange where stocks are going to be traded. Commodities, banks, industrials, that's going to be the stuff, and this is not it. MicroStrategy. Said you could short this on the pops. Here we go. Here we go. That was the pop right there. We said 450 plus. So far, so good. Netflix. Some folks were looking to short it. Man, you got another pop up to another, spot. Keep an eye on it. I think, again, if you get 450, I think it's easy, but you might not get it. Good old Roblox, another name, a tech that looked like it was going to break out. No, see you in the 20s. Tesla, talked about this one. Breaking the trend was a trap, and we've talked about it. Sometimes they do that because this trend was so obvious. You go above it, then you gap below it, game over. It's just game over. Now, again, it's not going to die immediately, so if you're short, you got to be patient. This is swing trading. Pretend these are 10-minute candles. Stop being so damn impatient. X, material names again. Keep an eye on it. We've talked about the endless China stimuluses, which is great. But these things still look like crap. They should be going higher. And speaking of China stimuluses, like some people are talking about BABA. I should just throw that in there real quick. This is the problem with stocks like BABA. If it can't go anywhere during strong markets, that's not bullish. Now, people will say, well, they're ahead and they're going to cut. They're cutting and they're doing. Nah, okay. Again, I would not trust Chinese stocks, period. This looks like, again, I don't have this drawn up like I should because I'm doing this on the fly. You can see, remember, there's a lot of gaps in this stuff because of overseas in the sense that it's a Chinese-based company. Just hit resistance again, backed off. 1, 2, 3. Again, the first move, bigger back up. Now it's getting choppier. Rubber band man's getting tired. It's got earnings coming up. Again, I would not be long this. I wouldn't be long China. It doesn't make sense. They're cutting because, again, things are going to get worse. We haven't even started cutting. We're literally trying to put them out of business, raising rates, making money come our way if they can. Or if we can, right? We'll see if that happens, right? The bricks and all that stuff. Anyway, Nucor, again, a lot of material names. They look okay, but I would not be expecting them to break out. If they do, well, then that's the anomaly. That's the low odds probability stuff, if that makes sense. Be careful, okay? Caterpillar said you could short this today on any pop. Said yesterday's candle was the game over candle. So you had the novice gap trap blow off, right? Oh, everyone's buying Caterpillar now. You got to be an idiot. Excuse my language. Then you have that doji left-right combo. Now, again, could it be a multi-day setup where this is just doesn't go all at once? That's a blow-off top, breakout, fake out. I mean, this gap is going to fill at some point. Just be ready. VALE, global growth name, right? Oh, Brazil's cutting rates. All right, we'll see. Holding the trend line, but as soon as it got up, it got sold. Arrow, this name looked like it was going to break out. It said, watch this candle. 20-day. Distributive. CCJ, again, rallied on its earnings and then, rally before earnings, gap down, chopping. It looks like it's toast, meaning like just toast, like leave it alone. CF, look at this gap up today. We've said take profits as you can up here. We like these names. We like materials, but we're waiting for them to throw them out with everything else because tech, again, everyone is so leveraged and margin that they're going to have to sell strength to leverage their weakness. I'm telling you, this is how it works. Mosaic, NTR all look very similar. NTR just said they're going to stop producing because the price is in the action, which I can't remember the exact news. Go double check it, but that action says come on down. AA, another global growth name on no, going nowhere. XLF holding 35. We'll see what happens here. Holding the 20-day. Keep an eye. I mean, I think banks are going to get blasted as they should. I mean, credit crisis doesn't like they can't fix it. This is not. I mean, the economy is a debt problem, and credit is a problem. JP Morgan, again, if you shorted up here with these wicks, you're feeling pretty good. Morgan Stanley, like every day is a red day. Again, incentive is down 18 cents, but watch the 200-day. Thing's a little oversold. Could it rally back to 90? I mean, this thing, if you short at 95, congratulations. Good old Goldman Sachs, same thing. We said mid 360s, short carry. Talked about the why it rallied, where it rallied to, where it probably failed. Look at it. Chopping now. Just be patient. Be patient. Define your risk. Have stops. XBI, something that should be rallying. Bio not looking so hot right now, right? Solar. Oil is going on fire. Shouldn't solar be rising? I got so much flack. I think Stock Twits tried to ban me because I was posting. I'm like, I think solar's gonna be junk. Oh, you can't be against the green movement. I'm not against the green movement. I'm against the green stocks. Stop it. Stop it with this crap. ENPH, gap below, recent lows, chopping. I mean, all these stocks look like shorts on pop. Sedgerton, we talked about getting, was going to get shredded at some point. No, it's not, Dan. It's the green movement. You got to. Okay, man, you missed the movement. They already rallied. The stock was at $28 in 2019. It ran up to 400 essentially. I'm telling you, these names get slaughtered. Goodbye. If it breaks that 190 area, it's toast. First Solar. Again, if you don't know the past, study it. This is what happens. This is what happens, y'all. They're going to destroy these names. First Solar, nice rally, flop. I mean, it is what it is. HYG, we talked about corporate debt. Watch what happens in the mid 75s. Can't get above it. Market not strong. I'm telling you. Again, the news is trying to portray things as strength. Oil, again, nice little rally back. I think we've hit our projected target upside. Unless some news kind of pushes, I don't think it'll sustain again because at some point in the market, weakness will drag oil down. Natural gas, can't even see it. It's just a joke. XOP, wow, retesting up back here again. I didn't watch this really that closely, but look where it closed below. Can't seem to get over the 143 area. Fill in the gap. I'm telling you again, we like these names on dips, but if you bought them and you're not taking profits, be careful. The market might take your profits from you. ExxonMobil, same kind of thing. Watching the range lows. If you short it up here, chopping, just waiting to exhale. Occidental, we talked about Buffett selling probably more calls than you even know possible on the 200-day. Going nowhere fast. PXD, okay, little action, right? It's been holding up, but man, a lot of indecisions. It looks like someone's unloading up here. EQT, we talked about this one potentially rallying. If it could hold up and how it pops back. I mean, could you get to the 40s, mid 40s? I don't know. Again, love these names, potentially on pullbacks with weakness later, but I don't know. Flex LNG, another one, trying to break our little downtrend. But again, 200-day, multiple converging moving averages. Be careful. All right, if you have any questions, please reach out. Congrats to those. It looks like shorted Airbnb after hours. It looks like it is getting throttled. If you have any questions, again, I think the short is the trade, but do not chase. Do not chase. Shorting is not easy. You got to pick and choose your spots. And that's why I tell people all the time, if you are shorting the market, do not short at lows. You need to short strength. Just like, because again, the market has only limited downside. I'd rather people sit from the sidelines than short recklessly because it's hard. But at some point, again, you define your risk. It's easy. But stocks typically, especially good ones, and the market will go up in time. But however, again, I think this is a crazy bear market 1970s kind of rally that's going to meet its maker at the end. And tech is going to have the problems because input prices over time are going to sustain higher. The Feds are going to have to continue to raise rates. But at some point, there's a trade in the bond market. There's going to be potential weakness because they're going to do what they can to get money to flow into the dollar if they can. They might not be able to, but they will try to get into Treasury, especially U.S. equity money. So, have any questions, please reach out. Please slap the like button, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.